This is the Human Network, where we explore real human connection in an artificial world. Brought to you by Global Mentorship Initiative.
Hi, and welcome to our first episode of the Human Network. I'm Jon Browning, the CEO of Global Mentorship Initiative, and your host for this series. You know, our lives are increasingly shaped by technology and artificial systems, but this can't replace human connection. In today's world, our humanity is our greatest advantage, and it's what allows us to see the potential in others, to lift them up, and create authentic connection. I'm thrilled to be joined today by two of GMI's 9,000 mentors. Channa Kumarage is a computer science professor in the US who's currently in Sri Lanka, and Yuki Loh is a finance professional with Clarivate in Penang, Malaysia. Welcome, Channa and Yuki.
I'm happy to be joining here today.
Thank you for having me for today.
So let's start with your experience as a GMI mentor. Well, first, let me say thank you for being Hall of Fame mentors. And what that means to qualify in the Hall of Fame is that you've mentored at least 10 students through the GMI mentorship program. And that's a structured 12-session program designed to help students around the world to get their first job. And you are both on your 13th mentorships right now. You've completed 12. So you have a lot of experience in this. So let me just start with what sparked your interest in being a mentor for so many students?
Okay, I'll take the question first then. I being a mentor for many years in a different stages of my life. Even when I was in my middle school, I start teaching my fellow students and colleagues around me. Plus, I also been influenced by my mom being a primary school teacher. Eventually, when I reach into my final years of my high school, I kind of started our own institute where we start teaching and mentoring underprivileged kids. I think that is my first uh, time involvement as a mentor. So ever since then, I kind of strict myself to the college and school. I always being around students, kids. So that's how everything begins for me.
That's great. What I appreciate is in your day job, you give so much to students, and yet for GMI, you're also a mentor to other underserved students. And so that's really appreciated. Yuki, what about you? What was your inspiration for being a GMI mentor?
Actually, look back, for this GMI program, I really actually wish that someone has told me this when I start my career. I have my own story. Is after I graduate, I spent a very long time to look for a job. And when I get a job, it's a contract role and it never become a permanent. So during that time, I have no one to actually guide me or even show me how to actually approach a job with the market strategy or even how to actually write a resume to stand out myself, to get a permanent role. So this experience actually stay with me and motivate me to really become a mentor. When after a few years of working, this actually encouraged me. Okay, I need to give the students a guidance and encouragement for them, to practice this when to gain the confidence for them to really get a job. So this actually encouraged me further to join GMI.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Your story and mine are very similar, and that I didn't have any good role models when I was younger, especially during my formative years in high school and college, and as a result, it was sort of luck that I ended up going to college at all and making career decisions and college degree decisions. I didn't have anybody to guide me. And now that I look back at it, that's when a young person needs guidance and mentorship the most. And that's one of the reasons that I helped launch GMI for this purpose. So thank you. So let's keep going. Are there common perspectives among your students about what they're facing today in the job search? What are they telling you?
One thing that I actually get it from my mentees and students is about a mixed excitement and uncertainty, because a lot of them might be worried, hey, how comes now with the world of AI? So are they belong to the global workforce or not? Are they able to compete with AI? And also with the purpose of their work. When they start to work, right, they will start to think that, hey, what's the purpose? I need to go to this workforce. So this mentorship actually give them some space for them to explore the concern, reframe their perspective, and also actually gain the confidence to tell them that, hey, the next will be yours. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Channa?
I agree with what Yuki said. It's kind of a mixed experience. At the same time, I think this challenge that they see because of the new development with the AI and related technologies, I think many students use that as a strong point to market themselves. Because I, coming from a computer science background, I can see many of my students and the students that I engage every day use plenty of AI tools. Sometimes they are much more master than even instructors we in when it comes to these tools. But at the same time, with my GMI experience, I encountered many students coming from a non-computing background. Even they do follow or use plenty of AI related tools. That is very good to see. One thing to highlight, I think everyone right now what experiencing is they kind of a concern about the job security. Okay, if I pick this field, what would be the future for my area? Other than that, I think the student populations are way ahead than we who's being in the industry or the academia for several years.
Yeah, I think it's what you both said. It's this intense competition for jobs right now, on top of a fast changing jobs landscape because of what we're seeing with technology and AI, at a change rate that we've not seen before. And what we're hearing from our students is that they're not sure that the careers they started out pursuing 3 years ago are really the careers that are going to be available to them by the time they graduate. So let's think about your mentorships for a second and what you've learned in this process. What's something unexpected that a student has taught you that's made an impression? The benefits that you've received as a mentor. Yeah. So Channa, why don't you go ahead and talk about what's something unexpected that you've learned?
Um, I had a chance to experience students coming from a various background. I think almost every continent around the world. Uh, what I was surprised with the response that I received from some of the students coming from the African region, even though they experienced challenging time in some of those refugee camp and so, but still their motivation and their courage to get connected and find the opportunities. Some of them have heard about this from nowhere. Sometimes it is just through a simple Google search, but the motivation that they carry is a something that I never expected. But and the other thing is like I know I had a chance to meet John. Other than him, we hardly meet each other. But the impact have gone into these areas, this region has been. Um, um, I have no words to express that the gratitude those students carry. So I think my most unexpected experience is the motivation those students carry, especially the people coming from these challenging regions.
Absolutely. Yes, it's very inspiring. And Yuki, what about you?
I want to share about one thing. It's about resilience. This is the new thing that I actually learned from one of the students who from Kenya. Because due to the population, right, every days they actually have a lot of applicants and also lesser chances. So actually she faced a 20 rejections when she actually submit for a job. Okay. And I was thinking that maybe I should comfort her to give her some good words. But in fact, the other way around. She actually told me that, hey, I have to be stay hard to go and get a job. Okay. Don't give up. Yeah, I can do better. So the determination actually remind me, right? No matter what's actually happened, right? You want some immediate success, right? You really need to work hard regardless whether it's get rejected. You learn from what's been failed, Be patient, definitely you can actually get something good. So this is the thing that I learned.
Yeah, that's the very definition of grit, and which I think we see more today than we have in the past with today's young people. They know they have to get in there and fight for their careers and for their opportunities, and I think it's an inspiration to me as well. And uh, I was going to point out that both of you have mentored students around the world in different situations, including several across Africa, Asia, and even the United States. Uh, and you've gained a lot of experience in guiding others because of these mentorships. How has this shaped your own leadership or sense of purpose? Yuki, let's start with you.
It's actually shaped how I see leadership right now. I've been actually more empathetic and reflective. Last time will be like, leadership is I tell people what to do. But now actually it changed. I listen first. I ask question and only focus on the career of space to grow. I want to grow them instead of I tell you what to do. I want to understand what you want without hierarchy, help you in personal to grow for that. So this is what actually changed the perspective on myself.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That so many mentors come away with that exact same sense of how it changes them. Channa, what about you?
I think for the greatest gain that I receive from the GMI mentorship is like making me a better listener. I think being an instructor, you always tend to speak. You want your audience to listen to you. But being a mentor in this program make me much more a listener than a talker. I think that's shaped my life as well. So I became, I improved as I'm able to focus on what other people speak, and listen to them, and gain some of their life experience, and think about the thing that how they um, they want certain things to be happen, which is probably not the way that I expected. So I certainly became a better listener over the years, over the several years that I contributed to GMI.
Yeah, it's certainly helped my perspective. Always wanting to jump in and solve somebody's problems when they tell me about them. Sometimes we need to listen and just help them guide to solve their own problems and issues. And that's one of the things that we counsel in the mentorship training. It's you don't always have to offer answers, but you can help guide your student to the right answers. And that's a good segue because I want to switch over to this value of human connection. This next generation of young professionals are entering a workforce that's very different to the one that we all entered. Companies are grappling with the impact of artificial intelligence, and there's a growing fear that the jobs will just disappear. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe that AI is an incredible tool and has the potential to create lots of new opportunities. I do wonder, however, about the long-term impact it will have on human capital. And by human capital, I mean our relationships, emotional intelligence, and our capacity to adapt. You're both in very different career fields, Channa as an educator and Yuki in the business world. Tell us how human connection makes a difference in your work environments.
In the business world, right, actually what drives success not just about skills, tools, it's also with uh relationship. AI, right, and digital tools that can help us for efficiency. But trust, connections, and ideal collaboration, right, does come from human. When people really connect with you, right, they're willing to share a lot of ideals, freely, innovation together with you. So relationship is still needed, especially nowadays, because brainstorming can really make a lot of difference.
Yeah, yeah. And Channa, from an educator's perspective, you work with students every day. What are you hearing and seeing from your students about human connection in this different work environment?
Um, Especially teaching in a computer science major students mainly, I see a lot of students are very well aware of available tools at this moment. But at the same time, when it comes to creating or preparing solutions for their assignments and everyday class activities, um, our greatest advice that we have given to them is to use any tools that they are familiar with. We are open for that, because especially in a major of a computer science, which is very connected to the AI, we cannot completely prevent students from not using that. They are well aware of that. So therefore, what we say is use the tool and use it smartly, in a way that you create your own solution with your own credentials to get a better outcome. At the same time, I say to students, if you use a tool, keep in mind that your instructors, your professors are well aware of many of those tools as well. So therefore, creating a authentic solution is very important, and very important to create your own version of it. So I think that's what we tell our students, and at the same time, that is also our greatest challenge, especially the students who know the technology.
Yeah, I mean, you're an expert in this, you would know, but 90% of college students today are using AI in some focus with their career, their college work, and so your challenge is to get them to see to take the next step using AI as a tool to develop these new ideas that you just mentioned.
Exactly. I'll give you one quick example. Recently, I read a news article coming from my own country saying that now they have a new language model developed and published publicly available for free for anybody to reuse, to generate any AI related solution in our own language, because our language is a somewhat different with compared to other language. Many, and it is not a widely spoken language, so therefore not many tools available around the world. So with the AI and these technologies, now it is publicly available for anybody to reuse and generate new solutions.
Thank you. That was really insightful. My next question is about, well, can you describe a time when connection and not credentials opened a door for you?
I think my two best experience is both the internship that I received as a undergraduate and a graduate student. First one as an undergraduate in Sri Lanka, my very first internship. Uh, After taking several interviews for the several local companies, I got selected for two organization, and the first one responded was because of a close connection of one of my senior fellows. So that's helped me. Similarly, my very first internship as a graduate student, while I was in my graduate program in Minnesota, United States. The email came through the department mail list, and I responded immediately. Got an internship within like a 3 month of stay in United States. Just like what you highlighted, John. I think this human connection, the connection you create among your local community, is very important to get into your, especially the first dream job.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yuki, what about you?
I don't have a very great connection when I have my first job. So it's actually I spend a lot of time to really get my first job. Okay. But in my career, right, in I think in my second job, I have an opportunity to offer I would say a project that I don't really sure that am I ready or not, because I just only have 1 year experience. Then but my leader actually trusts me and also very value the reliability and work ethic. So it willing to give me a chance to really take up this project, open a door for me to really shape my career where who I am right now. So yeah, human connections, trust in this area, right? It's really help a lot. When there is a trust, definitely people willing to give you a try. But if there's no right, I believe no one will give you a try at all.
Oh, I agree. I agree. And when I can think of an example for my own, when launching Global Mentorship Initiative, I knew almost nothing about nonprofit organizations and even less about launching a mentorship program. So I had no credentials when it comes to inviting people to join this mission. And yet I had already established connections with mutual trust that helped get GMI off the ground, even without the credentials that I had that might guarantee some sort of success for it. So absolutely, human connection is the most important part of career development, I would say. So let's kind of stay in this theme here. If the future of work depends on human connection, what's a behavior that each of you can say that we need to focus on now? And it might tie into, one of the reasons why you're a mentor to GMI students. So, Channa, what's a behavior that you like to suggest or give advice to your students about human connection?
As I said, as a university instructor, I meet students in person. But at the same time, now almost every higher education institute now do have a hybrid model. So where most of the universities do offer the same course, maybe parallel to the in-person meeting, the students can take it as an online course completely. Um, what I see is many students like to go in online track. They keep it flexible. They can do participate in whatever way they want to participate. Sometimes they come in person, but I see there's a lot of differences with the learning experience from the students who attend in person and I attend online. Um, I know for the smartest kids, it doesn't matter. They will do what best for them, regardless of where they attend to class. But for some people, it is different. So I personally encourage people to do whatever they can do in person, because that will give you a better experience for sure. Even though sometimes you have been engaging with certain individuals for many years online during the pandemic. But ever since then, whenever you get the first chance, when you meet that person in person, that could be a completely different experience. I think because that will definitely required, especially when it comes to the more general problems that we experience in this world, mainly because of this disconnection. Because disconnection create conflicts. Conflicts can lead into a disaster. So I think it is very important that we as a society, as a human population, we need to get back to this in-person experience that will create definitely a better world. I would believe that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yuki, on this theme of human connection, what's one behavior that you think we should focus on now?
I think what we need to focus on now will be a bit different with China, but it's a bit similar. It's more about active empathy because, like China shared, after pandemic, we're very used with online. Okay, so we very less actually we hear with people. We want things quick. So via chat, via WhatsApp, via email, it's just quick. So checking, giving credit, all those things, right? It's less in nowadays world. So I think that is the thing that we need to normalizing the empathy build because with this, right, we can also build trust. We can build appreciations. A lot of things that it can be built with this. We also have time to really listen from others and also listen to ourselves. So I think that's the thing that I think we should focus on.
Yep, absolutely. When you combine changes in working from home or hybrid working along with AI and new tools, we're probably in the most turbulent times for a new person coming into the workforce than we've been in a long, long time. And now a lot of us are working remotely, completely or in hybrid. What's an insight that you wish new graduates understood about building trust in this type of environment when you're not seeing the people you work with every day face to face? Yuki, do you want to start with that?
With a remote, right? I think when we face to face, we don't actually meet up face to face, right? Through virtual, I think we need to really show up prepared, follow through the commitment, and also responsive. Even it's a very small thing that in actually been asked by people, you have to actually answer it politely and confidence as well because this is the way that to build trust through online, like how we now in the online versions we still building trust. We can willing to share our knowledge and even questions or what we face with each other.
Right. Yeah. Channa, what do you think about this environment of working remotely and yet establishing human connection?
Yeah, I certainly see a difference between how students engaging before and after the pandemic. I think that almost every individual now has become a entity of a computer. So what you see is not really a human, but a computer. I think, as you highlighted, if they really want to accomplish these challenges as we going forward, the key things that they need to change is the way that they see people. People are not the machine that you have seen in front of a camera or in front of your computer screen. So much more connected world is what we are expecting. That could certainly build a better experience. Of course, I'm pretty sure you, even you, John, you in your organization, when people meet now in person, the experience is much more different than what you remotely connect. That will definitely enhance their set of skills, and that will definitely enhance the team's outcome. I think that's what something that I see a little bit different before and after the pandemic.
Absolutely. And it reminds us about the value of empathy that only human connection can bring, that AI can't replicate, and the value of working with people. We're definitely in challenging times that we're going to have to find that new norm while retaining our real human connection. What advice are you giving your students now about navigating this AI focused workforce? Is there anything different you're telling them that you weren't in your early mentorships 2 and 3 years ago? Chana, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, definitely things has changed. I will tell you, the current student that I am mentoring, he has changed his study field. He's going for a master's degree in computer security. Actually, he's studying one of the college in Washington State right now. He was a completely in a different field before. He's not a traditional student who just came out from the high school, but people think differently now. Things has changed. So the great advice, as I highlighted in one of the previous question, what we tell to student is, okay, use much AI tools as possible, but try to create your own solution. Use the tool as a tool to build a new solution that give a greater credential to you. For an example, this particular student that I am mentoring right now, John, he has used many tools. I kind of had to skip the 2 sessions that we have in our GMI mentorship program because he do have every such a knowledge. I actually learned a couple of tools from him as well because he is on top of it. So use the tools as much as possible. Build your own outcome using the tools is my advice for the students.
Wonderful advice. Wonderful. Yes. Yuki, what about you? What are you telling your students?
I have two type of students. I actually have one of the students, right, ex-mentee, which is older than me, that from non-AI world, then he continued to pursue the master. So we have a chance to actually partner. So he actually shared with me that he worried about AI. Then I actually shared with him that, okay, let's make AI work for you instead of you work for AI. You have the skills, you have the knowledge, right? So build up the AI tools that which able to help you in your work. And I also have a mentee who are really like what Chana shared, great in AI. He shared a lot of different tools and a lot of automations tools with me, which helped me a lot in my job. So, um, what I actually learned also from them and to share with everyone is stay curious, continue to learn from the AI, and make the AI work for you.
Wow, that's great advice. And it sounds like we need to bring some of our students in to give classes on using AI for our mentors to help them in their mentorships. And for a final question, I always like to ask this of our mentors. Tell me about your mentor. Who's that someone who helped to shape you, and how did they make a difference in your life? Yuki, you want to start?
Yeah. So I have a different mentor in a different stage of my life. One challenges for me with questions that actually stretched my thinking. Another one actually believed in me before I believed in myself. What they have in common is guiding me to discover my own potential and rather than giving me all the answer. So with this influence, they actually shape how I mentor today in helping those students to build confidence and also knowing they have support along the way.
That's fantastic. Channa, what about you?
I think for me, I want to highlight two people. The first one is my dad. He's someone with a very little credential, but he's always a greater listener. Because I lived and I grew up in a neighborhood and a community where the people from a different religious background, different cultural background was around, and my dad could speak several languages. That is his greatest tool, and he used that to help out the people who speaking different language, especially the people coming from the minority community. So he created a great examples for me during my young age. And also, I want to highlight some of the school administrators that I personally experienced throughout my high school career, because they kind of motivated me to be an educator, because education is the greatest gift that I can give back to the society. That's make me an educator ever since I was born. I think those are the two main mentors that I want to highlight in this session.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's fantastic. Well, Yuki and Channa, this has been great. You've given everybody so much to think about from your experience as mentors to so many students. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for having me as well. So it is fun.
Thank you. You've highlighted the power of giving back to someone who's just getting started in life. And I think what we've all discovered here is not only are you making a difference for somebody, but it's changing you in the process as well. And that's the value and the power of human connections. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we'll see you on the next episode of this podcast, The Human Network.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Human Network. If you'd like to get involved with Global Mentorship Initiative, please reach out to us at globalmentorship.org.